Welcome to the video lecture series of Basic Electronics, module number 1, lecture number 7. Introduction to regulators, LM78XS series and 7805 voltage regulator. So before the start of this video lecture of regulator, okay, so let me make you more clear. What do you mean by the regulator and what is this series name? Okay, if you look at this particular number over here, that is LM78XS series. Okay, so this LM78XS series, it's a name of an IC. Okay, basically it's an the regulator will come into an IC package. Okay, and the name of this particular LM is nothing but the manufacturer, how the series numbers they give. Okay, for example, we have different types of cell phones, right? Samsung S1, S2, S3 and other. So the manufacturer, they just give the name for the series. Okay, and that XS X and that is XS is nothing but it is just like the number can be anything. Okay, so it can be 1, it can be 2, or it can be any number. Okay, and the another part over here is nothing but 7805 voltage regulator. Okay, so when it comes to the 7805 regulator, okay, again the last two numbers is nothing but 05, which represents something, a number. Okay, so basically what I try to say over here is nothing but it's a name of the family. Okay, it's the name of a family and this family belongs to the regulator part. Okay, now here if you look at this XS, okay, so these two the last two digit of the regulator. Okay, so the last two digit of the regulator will give you the voltage. Okay, it will give you the how much amount of voltage is possible from this particular regulator. Okay, how much amount of voltage is nothing but for let me take an example over here. Okay, it's a 7805. Okay, so 78 is a common number, but what about 05? 05 is nothing but it's a 5-volt DC. Okay, it's a 5-volt DC supply. So based on the number which we specify or which we try to purchase from the manufacturer or from the dealer, okay, it will give the output voltage. So the output voltage can be anything for this particular series. Okay, and the another part here is 7805. So it means that your IC voltage or the output voltage of your regulator will not exceed 5-volt DC supply. So there are other different ICs are also available in the market. So which says about 7812. So 7812 is equal to 12-volt DC supply. So 12-volt DC output voltage you can withdraw from that particular IC. Okay, because a lot of applications are available into the market. Lot of DC oriented applications are available. Okay, ICs are there where we require so much amount of voltage. So based on the number, based on the requirement, we try to purchase the IC. Okay, so please remember this XS can be any number. So for our example, so 05 is the 05 is the series number where we take it as a 5-volt supply from the manufacturer or from the devices. Okay, now what do you mean by the regulator? So okay, so basically regulator is nothing but it's a one type of an device or one type of a circuit, okay, whose output voltage will be constant voltage. Okay, for example, what do you mean by the constant voltage? Okay, so if I say that this is my IC, okay, so if I say that this IC voltage regulator IC number is 7805, okay, so the input voltage for this particular IC, say for example 12-volt DC supply, right? So this is my input supply, so 12-volt DC supply, but I don't want 12-volt DC supply, I want 5-volt output voltage. So for that reason what I do is I will just put one IC in front of my circuit. Okay, so that is 7805, which gives me 5-volt DC supply, because in electronic devices many of the devices will not use the same voltage power supply. Some use 12-volt supply, some use 5-volt supply. Okay, there is also even possibility that some uses 3.5-volt supply, or 3.5 volt is also possible, 2.5 volt is 2.5 is possible, 2 is also possible. So based on the type of requirement we try to design the electronic part, right? So the definition of the regulator normally it says that it's a device, okay, which gives the output voltage, or simply you can say that the input voltage is a variable input voltage for the regulator and the output voltage is nothing but it's a constant DC output voltage. So it can be either 5-volt supply or it can be 12-volt supply, right? Now the question is whether the output voltage is a positive voltage or the output voltage is a negative voltage. So both are possible here. Okay, sometimes based on the IC you may have the positive voltage, and based on the IC number you may have the negative voltage also. Okay, and how we need to identify the output, the given output voltage is a positive voltage or the given output voltage is a negative voltage. So based again on the number, we try to identify or we try to say that the output voltage is positive or the output voltage is negative. And how? It is only possible by the number which is mentioned over here. So if it is 7, 8 number, it is just as is equal to positive voltages. If there are other numbers of 7, 9 is also possible, 7, 8, 1. Okay, so let me say like if the number if I use here is 7805. Okay, so if I say that it is a 7805, then it is a positive voltages. Okay, for example here 7805. So 7805 it will give you plus 5-volt supply, and 7815 will give you the minus 5-volt supply, minus 5-volt supply. So based on the series number, okay, it is possible to get either the positive voltages or the negative voltages, but the output voltage will be a fixed voltages. Okay, and it is also possible to have the negative voltages. Again, it depends on how the output voltage will be, how the what is the sign of the number or what is the IC number. Okay, so this is how we try to take or how we try to design the voltage regulators, but it is completely digital IC part. Okay, now the positive or the negative voltage IC regulator, they provide the fixed voltages with the magnitude from 5 to 24. So it is possible to have till 24 output voltage. Okay, so the range is variable, that is from 5 to 24. Now IC voltage regulators, they are adjustable output and can be varied regulated output voltages from 0 to 40 volt also. Okay, so this is how we try to fetch the output voltages based on the application power, because in the market there are various devices are available where we don't require the variable. Okay, we require only the fixed constant output voltage. So for that particular reason we try to have the constant output voltage. So please remember how to define the regulator is. A regulator is an electronic device, okay, which gives us the fixed output voltage for a variable input voltage. Okay, so either the output voltage can be positive or it can be negative or it can be adjustable. Now there are few advantages of the IC regulators are they are compact in size and rugged. Compact in size is nothing but they come in an IC package. They are most efficient and reliable. Why it is most efficient? Because it comes in an IC and all the ICs are efficient because they are made up of transistors, right? Multiple number of transistors, and when it comes to the transistor, the accuracy and the efficiency will be better and they are more reliable. It is very cheap due to the mass production because there is no any company which produces only one IC. Okay, so once the company starts production of the 5 volt of ICs, means it will produce in terms of billions and trillions or sometimes in thousands in number. So wherever there is a mass production, the cost will be completely reduced, or you can simply say that it is very cheap to buy such kind of ICs, and they are easily available. Okay, we cannot find it, you will not find any kind of difficulty when you go for purchasing of those particular type of ICs. Then the last advantage here is the features like built-in protection, thermal shutdown and current limiting is also possible. Built-in protection is nothing but we can avoid the short circuits in that particular number, because when you try to build up the electronic circuit differently, there may be possibility that the circuit may get short, and there is also possibility that because of the thermal shutdown is nothing but whenever there is a flow of charges happening, there is a possibility that you may feel some kind of heat. Okay, we call it as a thermal. So because of that heat dissipation, the system can get shut down or the system can get off. It is also possible that because of that your IC will burn and your system will not be protected. So when it comes to the IC regulator, your system will be completely protected from unnecessary thermal release of the ions or thermally operated points. Okay, so that the shutdown will be completely isolated, and it's also current limiting. There is no any leakage current which will flow into that particular IC. Okay, but if you try to build the electronic circuitry different by making use of different components, then it becomes very difficult for the current limiting, because we don't know at what exactly point the voltage will get leaked. So therefore, if you try to make use of such particular ICs, it is possible that you may try to limit such kind of currents which is flowing in any other part of the electronic parts. Then let us come to the first series, that is 78 LM78XS series. Okay, so basically the LM78XS series, where this XS denotes the given number. That is what I said just now, that this XS can be either 05, it means 5 volt, 06, 6 volt, 08, 8 volt, 10 volt, 12, 15, 18, and 24. And it is a 3-terminal device. So 3-terminal, basically you can see like this. So if this is your IC, they just appear to be as your transistor. Okay, so if you see like this, so this comes in an IC package. This comes in an IC package. So one will be your positive, negative, and ground. So IC LM78XS series, basically it's a 3-terminal device. Okay, so it can be operated for a variety number of voltages. The 7805 produces an output voltage of 5 volt. That is what the last two, based on the last two numbers, we tell how much amount of output voltage, 5 volt. The 7806, 6 volt, 7808, so respectively. Okay, so this is the functional block diagram of the 3-terminal IC regulator. So if you look at this IC voltage regulator, okay, so this is my input voltage, okay, and this is my output voltage, and how we try to do this. Okay, so if you look at over here the block diagram, we have one pass transistor. Okay, when you try to study the transistor theory, okay, so there are a lot of transistors are available into the market where we can use those transistor as a switch. So basically, what is transistor? Transistor basically act as a switch. This is the first definition. The second definition over here is the transistor can be used as an amplifier. So there are a lot of amplifiers and a lot of applications of transistors are there where we can operate the transistor either in the class A mode, class B mode, class C mode, class AB mode. Different modes of operations of transistors is possible. Okay, by making use of this transistor, we can try to switch out the output voltage for a given designed input voltage, right? And here you can see there is a two resistors are connected in series. Okay, so whenever the two resistors are connected in series, then we call such type of connection as potential divider. Okay, we call it as a potential divider. So the resistance R1 and R2 can be acted as a potential divider, and then we have one amplifier. So if you look at this amplifier, it is as it appears to be like a triangle, right? It appears to be a triangle. So we can still design this particular triangular part by making use of op-amp. It is also possible, because we will look into the module number 3. What do you mean by op-amp and what are the various applications of op-amp? Okay, so the basic applications, how the basic operation of op-amp can also be taken as comparator. So this acts as an amplifier part. Then the output voltage. Okay, there is one more thing what we can notice over here is nothing but it's a reference. Okay, how much amount of reference you want to keep. Okay, so if you see here, this is a reference point and this is the voltage point. Okay, so if I say that my reference voltage is a 5 volt supply, if is nothing but a 5 volt. Okay, so if the two voltages, when they meet at this particular point, if they are not equal, I will say it as the logic 0. Okay, if the two voltages are same, let me call it as a 1, right? So if until and unless the two voltages do not appear to be equal, till then this loop will continue to occur. So when the two voltages are equal, then what happens? The thermal shutdown and current limiting circuit, the output of this particular will give to thermal shutdown and current limiting circuit, where this pass transistor allow the voltage supply over here, and then your output voltage can be maintained constant. So this is how the operation of the regulator LM78XS series takes place. So a built-in reference voltage drives a non-inverting input of an amplifier. How we can call it as a non-inverting amplifier? Okay, because if you look at this particular diagram over here, we always call the positive symbol of this amplifier as non-inverting. It is the theory taken from the op-amp. Okay, so we call it as non-inverting when it is taken as a positive sign. If it is a negative sign, we simply call it as inverting. We call it an inverting on inverter. Okay, so a built-in reference voltage. Okay, there is a reference voltage which is already built. How it is built? Based on this particular number. If I say that if it's 7805, so what should be the reference number? The reference number should be 5 volt. It should not exceed 5 volt. Okay, and the output voltage should not be less than 5 volt. So how much amount of voltage I require at the end of the circuit? I require only 5 volt supply, not greater than nor less than 5 volt supply over here. If it is a 5 volt, if it is a 7805 IC. And how much should be the input voltage? The input voltage should be anything. Input voltage can be anything based on your application part or based on your requirement. So if I say that my input voltage is equal to 12 volt supply, then the output voltage will be equal to 5 volt if you are trying to design a voltage regulator of 5 volt. Okay, it can be 6 also, right? So this is how we try to operate our regulator part. Then the voltage divider consists of R1 and R2. That is what I said, R1 and R2 act as a voltage divider. The samples the output voltage and returns a feedback voltage to the inverting input of a high gain amplifier. That is what the minus symbol says to be an inverting input. Okay, then the output voltage is given by the V out is equal to R1 plus R2 divided by R1 into V reference point. Then these resistance are factory trimmed to get the difference output voltages. So ranging from 5 volt to 15 volt in the series of 7-8 XS series. Okay, so but there is some kind of tolerance will be also added up to that particular output voltage, like plus or minus 4%. Okay, so whenever you try to take a simple resistance, what will be there? Based on the color coding method, there will be also some kind of tolerance. So what do you mean by tolerance? Tolerance is nothing but plus or minus some amount of voltage, like a very small voltage, that is the 4% of the output voltage is negligible. Okay, either it can be, for example, I want 5 volt, so it can be 5.5, 5.1 volt is also acceptable, and 4.9 is also acceptable. Just like you are trying to round off that particular value and still you are accepting that for your operation. Okay, and the pass transistor of LM7XS series can handle the load current up to 1 milliampere with adequate heat sinking. So whenever we try to design, whenever we try to go for the design of ICs, we also take care of the heating mechanism. Okay, so even you just open your CPU, old CPU box, we can see their heat sink. And why we use the heat sink? The heat sinks are we use the heat sinks just to avoid the heat which is getting dissipated from the electronic circuit. Okay, because a lot of electronic circuits are there where they try to dissipate the heat. Okay, they try to dissipate the current in terms of heat, in terms of thermal. Then what, sometimes it is also possible, sometimes what happens, because of the heat your device will get burnt out. Okay, so just to avoid such kind of heats, we use heat sinks. And sometimes we also put a fan. Okay, so what is that fan? Exhaust fan. So the heat which is coming out from the IC, it will be just emitted outside somewhere. So just to avoid such kind of thermal shutdown because of the heat, because of the current limiting circuits are also included into your particular IC. Okay, so whenever you try to limit the current, the thermal shutdown will be automatically avoided. Because of heat, it is also possible that your device may get fall, your device may get shut down automatically. So just to avoid that, we try to design a circuit diagram, we try to design a regulator in such a way that no other problem should occur making into that particular conditions. Okay, and the another important thing is nothing but about the temperature. How much should be the temperature? Sometimes what happens is, because of the continuously flow of charge, continuously flow of current, there is a heat. When you try to measure that heat in terms of the temperature, it will be too high. Okay, just take the thermometer just near to that particular IC. Okay, it will be high. I will just give you the real-time example. Okay, so when you put your cell phone onto the charge, okay, around some half an hour or around some 1 hour, just try to touch the back panel of your cell phone. What happens? You can feel the heat. Okay, and that heat is acceptable. That heat is acceptable. But if you try to overcharge your mobile phones, okay, then what happens? The possibility that your mobile phone may get damaged. Okay, so whenever the charge is complete, you should remove your charger plug. What happens is nothing but your battery life will get drained. Okay, because you are trying to supply the excess amount of current than required. So when you try to supply the excess amount of current than required, then that amount of charge will be come out in the form of heat. And then when you try to measure the temperature, then the temperature will be too high, and there you should take some kind of precautions for the excessive power dissipation. So how you can take the precautions? By putting the fan, by putting the heat sinks where it will absorb the whole heat, and then you can just shut down the system, and then everything will be cleared out. So this is how the LM78 excess voltage regulator will work out. Then the last topic of your first module is fixed voltage regulator, that is LM7805 IC. So LM7805 IC is as equal operation of 78XS series. Only the thing is you are trying to give a number over here, that is 05. So we have, it's a 3-terminal device, that is nothing but one. It is having an V in, V out, and the ground terminal. Okay, so it's a 3-terminal device, and you can see here also. Okay, in the figure number B, the input capacitor C1, this is output capacitor C2. So why we try to put the capacitor over here in figure number B, why not in 1? So the first diagram only shows the terminal of LM7805, okay, where we do not shows the improves in the frequency response, and we do not show the oscillations. But once you put the capacitor both at the input and output side, make sure that the value of capacitor C1 should be equal to the value of capacitor C2. If not equal, what happens is the frequency of oscillations will be completely different. So just to have the frequency of oscillation both at the input and output side, we try to put that. And sometimes the another name for this C1 and C2, we call it as a coupling capacitor. Okay, coupling capacitor is nothing but whenever you try to couple with from one circuit diagram to the another circuit diagram, then we call it as a coupling capacitor, just to have the proper synchronization between the two circuit diagrams. Okay, so let us go with the this fixed capacity voltage. So pin number 1 is an input pin number 2 is an output pin number 3 is a ground pin. So LM7805 has an output voltage of 5 volt. So when you measure over here, you will get 5 voltage here and 5 output voltage here, and a maximum load current of 1 ampere and 1 ampere. Okay, then the typical load regulation is of about 10 millivolt for a load current of 5 volt to 1.5 ampere. So when you find that the output voltage or the load current is around 1.5 ampere, then the load regulation may handle up to 10 milliampere of load voltage or current. So the typical line regulation is around 3 millivolt. Okay, for the input voltage 7 to 25. Okay, so if your voltage is lying from 7, input voltage is lying from 7 to 25, you may have some kind of line regulation from that is 3 millivolt. Okay, when an IC is more than 6 from the filter capacitor of the unregulated power supply, the inductance of the connecting wire may produce oscillation. That is what whenever you try to add the additional part, okay, then you may have some kind of oscillation inside the ICs. Okay, that is why the manufacturer recommend using a bypass capacitor C1 on pin number 1. You can see here, right? So pin number C1 at 1, I have connected a capacitor C1. Why I should connect a capacitor over here? Just to bypass. Okay, we call it as a bypass capacitor. Okay, why it is recommended? Just to improve the response of the IC. Okay, so if you want to improve the efficiency of the system, efficiency of the regulator, you need to put some kind of extra part. Okay, that is called as a bypass capacitor. So bypass capacitor is also applied at pin number 1, is also applied to pin number 2. You can simply say that it is applied at the input pin as well as the output pin. Okay, and for the input capacitor it's 0.22 microfarad, and for the output side it is 0.1 microfarad. Okay, so any type of IC, any type of regulator you can design based on that particular number, that is 78XS, and it comes in a chip. Okay, and it will try to regulate the output voltage. Try to regulate is nothing but just to have the proper output, constant output voltage. Okay, so I will give one application oriented example for the IC voltage regulators. Okay, what actually happens? You just take an example of your mobile charger. Okay, let us assume that it's a mobile charger. Okay, so whenever I try to plug a mobile charger into the socket, okay, what happens? When you try to measure, you just measure the input, we just measure the output voltage of that particular socket by using a tester. So when you measure, you can see that there is a light. Okay, and you measure the that voltage by making use of a multimeter. So when you measure using a multimeter, okay, how much it will be? It will be around something around 230. Okay, just try to measure. It will be around something called as 230 volt is possible. Okay, 230 volt AC supply. It's an AC. It's not a DC supply. Okay, so if I say that it's a 230 volt AC supply, then there is also possibility that when you try to measure root mean square, when you take the root mean square of that 230 volt supply, you may have 120 volt supply with 60 hertz. Okay, so possibilities are that it should be 50 hertz. And what should be this waveform? Is not, it's a sine wave. That is nothing but sinusoidal wave. And when you measure the voltage across the secondary of the transformer, okay, it's all about inside part. Okay, so there are different types of transformers are available. If I say, let me say that it's a 12-0-12. It's a 12-0-12. So 12-0-12 is nothing but it's a 12 volt AC supply. So input is 230 volt and output is nothing but 12-0-12, or simply we can say that 12 volt AC supply. And how it is possible? By making use of a step down transformer. And what about the waveform? Appearance of waveform is nothing but again still it is an AC signal. Now let us convert our AC signal to DC signal. Okay, so to convert an AC signal to a DC signal, we use a diode rectifier. Now if you look at the output of the rectifier over here, when you try to measure the output of the rectifier over here, the output waveforms is like this. So just by looking the waveform of the diode rectifier, we say that it's a full wave rectifier, right? It's a full wave rectifier. Either it can take as a bridge rectifier or it can take as a center type full wave bridge rectifier. Okay, so it's a bridge rectifier. So but still it is not a pure DC. It's not a pure DC. So to make it pure, what we try to do is we try to put a filter. So what is the use of filter? Filter removes the ripples. So ripples is nothing but the unwanted AC components, DC components in that particular waveform output of the diode will removed, okay, by making use of filters. You can say the ripples, some kind of distortion. So when you measure across the filter or when you measure at the output of the filter, you may find this kind of voltage. Okay, now take the voltage regulator. So what should be the voltage regulator over here? Either let us put into the general format, that is 78XS. 78XS. We don't know what is the number. So therefore, instead of 78XS, let me put 7805. Let me put 7805. So this voltage regulator, okay, and let me tell here that when you measure the output voltage of this particular filter over here, you may have, for example, something around 12 volt, right? It is around 12 volt DC. 12 volt DC. So what is the input? What is the input to the voltage regulator? 12 volt DC. So what is the output of the voltage regulator? It's a 5 volt. So it is 5 volt. So when you measure over here, because your filter has filtered and you have maintained a constant DC line, so therefore the line appear to be a very straight line, and when you measure the voltage across this particular line or this particular output, then it is completely 5 volt. And what is the load? The load is nothing but your mobile. The load is nothing but your mobile. You just plug the charger output to your mobile will start charge. But your mobile will not charge for a 230 volt AC supply or neither for the 12 volt unregulated power supply. So just to maintain the constant output voltage, we use such kind of devices that is called as regulators. So this is how we try to construct the voltage regulator by making use of the simple voltage regulator of 7800, or you can put it into any other different type of applications also. Hope this is clear, and I will end this video lecture series of module number 1. So in the next video lecture, we will go with the problems and derivations of half wave and full wave rectifier.